everybody. My name is Elena. I came from Russia, and today we are going to speak about most popular stereotypes of Russia and what foreign people think about Russia or Russian people. And let's find out what is the truth or what is the myth. So let's start. The first stereotype is Russia is the big and cold country. It's yes and no, because the length of Russia is 17 million 100 quarter kilometers, and compare with the Europe, which length is 10 million 10 million 880 square meters. Yes, it's big, and if we speak about population, the population of Russia is 146 million people, and population of all Europe 748 million people. The area of Russia is 12% of all entire land of the planet. There are borders with 16 countries by land and 2 with sea. Let's speak about climate. Yes and no again. Russia is only one country in the world with the 8 climatic zones. Where the climate is formed not only by relief amount of the sun, but also the distance of ocean. From Arctic to subtropical, in Russia you can see everything, from the polar nights and extremely low temperatures to the warm sea resorts under the gentle sun. As we can see, that Russia is quite big, so the climate is quite different too. The coldest temperature was recorded in the north, around 82 degrees centigrade in the night. Below zero, of course. And absolute max temperature was recorded in the south of Russia, around 47 degrees centigrade above zero. Look. Stereotype number 2. Every Russian who lives in Siberia has his own oil or diamond production. I don't know why people think about this, and maybe because of Russia exports a lot of oil, or maybe because they compare Russia with Arab Emirates, where a lot of oil produced also, and where all native citizens have a possibility to get money from government and don't work. So, but it does not work with Russia. So this is no more than a funny myth. Stereotype number 3. Everybody drinks vodka, a lot of vodka. This stereotype came to us from the past. We had a lot of wars and revolutions. Russia is a big country, and people had and still have a really different life, but mainly they have a hard life. People didn't have so much, and they could only drink to forget about their pain and sorrows. What can I say about current situation in Russia? Is it truth or not? If we speak about the small towns and villages, I would say yes, it is truth. But if we speak about big cities, I would say no, because people can live a normal life. They can afford to buy cars, flat. They can earn a lot of money. They can travel and see the world, and they can go to the theaters, exhibitions, and spend time nice, so they can develop themselves and do sport. Of course, people can drink alcohol, but it would rather be beer or wine or cocktails in restaurants, but not vodka. Stereotype number 4: all Russian girls looks like supermodels. In Russia, so like everywhere, there are a lot of beautiful people, like actors, singers, successful and famous models, but not all of people can save their beauty and health. Sometimes people start to drink and take drugs, smoke, make beauty injections, eat junk food, and don't care about health. So this way, their own decision makes some people look like people on this slide. Stereotype number 5: Russian beers, drinks vodka, and play balalaika and walk on the streets. It is also popular stereotype. If you go to Russia, you can see the bears walking on the streets. But unfortunately, when you come visit, you won't see the bears on the street. You have to go to the zoo for this. However, there are several types of bears that do live in Russia. Mostly brown bears live in Siberia, Ural, and the Far East. And of course, the Russian polar bear, which lives in the Russian Arctic. Stereotype number 6: Russian people don't speak foreign languages and speak only one language in the whole country. There is one opinion that Russian can speak foreign language. That is true, but not completely. Before 1998, we had another country which called USSR, and the old generation of Russia can't really speak foreign languages as my mom or as my dad, for example. Because it was not necessary for them. They didn't travel so much abroad and they didn't use it in their work. Every foreign movies, for example, in the cinemas is translated and voided into the Russian language. But now young people, especially who lives in the big cities like St. Petersburg, I'm from St. Petersburg, by the way, Moscow, Kazan, they understand how this is important, and now we have internet and it helps to learn by ourselves. Now in Russia there is one official language for all citizens, it's Russian language, and plus 37 official languages of the republics of Russia. So in the republics, people can speak two languages, Russian and language of their own republic. Stereotype number 7. all Russian people are really poor and steal. Let's speak about poetry first. Of course, it's not truth because we speak about all people. Russia is a country of contrasts. We have a wonderful golden palaces and old wooden crumbling barracks in the villages. Last Russian Tsar or King Nikolai II was the richest man in the world history. And in the same time, poor Russian people died because of hunger. Now there are a lot of rich Russians whose condition is more than 25 billion dollars USA, who manages huge corporations, who own football teams, yachts, village and helicopters. Also, there are a lot of people who live under the poverty line. Minimum wage, so minimum salary, is $160 USA. Minimum pension is 132 American dollars. As you see, it's not so much. Stereotype. I forgot about stealing. What we can say about stealing? If we speak about corruption, I would say yes, yes, and one more time, yes. But if we speak about normal people, if it depends from person to person, but usually people have to lock their doors, cars, and don't have things in the pockets, and don't leave the bags without seeing. Sometimes somebody can steal even the bricks from the streets or wheels from the car. Okay, let's speak about stereotype number 8. All Russian women also wear high heels, shoes, make manicure and makeup. I would say yes, it's totally true. Russian girls are really crazy about their look, and they spend a lot of money every month for visiting beauty salons, make manicure, pedicure, coloring and cutting hair, massage, depilation, lashes, eyebrows, to professional makeup and hairstyle. And yes, we wear high heels almost every day, but not, of course, in Europe. Also, we like photo shooting. Stereotype number 9. All Russian love and support their president, Vladimir Putin. I would say yes and no. Because old generation, it's like people over 50 years old, they really believe in him and think that he's the best. And a young generation think that he just can speak and do nothing for people until he run the country. We can't even speak about the real democracy there. And it feels like he wants to be king and control everything and everybody. And the government can only steal the money and don't care about anything else. And the last one, it's stereotype number 10, that Russian are grumpy, unfriendly, and never smile. Yes, from the first sight, we look serious and don't smile to every person who we meet. We just need a little bit more time to know each other. Sometimes people like to read in the public places, like transport, for example, and or just tired maybe. That's why they don't speak with each other and don't smile. But when you become a friend with the Russian, you can see that they are really kind and hospitable. And they would share with you almost everything, even if they don't have really much. Thank you.
Yeah, it's on. Maybe we can make a question round if somebody wants to ask you something, and after that, maybe you can also quickly talk about the food you brought with you today. After that, yeah. Hmm.
Okay. No questions.
Uh, I know a lot of about Russia because Russia is most of similar, you can say, India culture. But my question is, first of all, I just want to say I'm a big fan of Putin. But yeah, but yeah, one thing which I heard lot of, but also I observe, from news and blah 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 on social networking websites. But slowly, you don't think so? Putin is, slowly dominate the country. He's big dominating the country. I just
Of course, I think so because as I said, maybe old generation don't understand what's going on now. They just remember the time when Soviet Union was crushed, and when they lived in the 90s, it was really hard time for people. They didn't have food or work, and they work every day, but they didn't get salary around 6 months, for example. So it was a terrible time, and so maybe this generation remember these terrible things. And after Putin came to the running the country, all situation started to change in a positive side. It was better and better and better, and now people live, of course, in maybe how much levels better than before, and of course they thought it's Putin. He's great. Of course, he made a lot of great things, but now he wanted to change constitution of Russia. It's insane. He shouldn't do this because it's no democracy. Because in that case, I'm sure a lot of old people again will wait for him, and he will stay president more and more times. So it's, I think we should change direction of development of Russia. Yes, but it's really unfair, struggling, because they have a really big power. Up, I mean, Putin has a really big power. It's almost I don't know. You know, in our constitution there is one point that people can go out and make a meeting and some protests, but you have to say about this before. So we are going to say something on the street, but these people, when they come in the street, and the police took them. Yes. So it's crazy, and I don't really like this thing. Mm. Yes, it feels like people does not have a choice.
I got one more question, and it's from Christina, which is now right now looking in the live stream. Christina was asking if you are missing Russia, and what do you miss about Russia?
So of course I miss Russia because it's my home country, and it was harder that I could imagine before to move in another country. Of course I miss my friends, my family, my city, and just miss to walk out on the streets and meet my friends. And of course I miss Russian food, and sometimes I can cook it. Yes, sometimes I miss Russian culture, like movies or songs. But now we are living in a time of internet, and we can see it anyway. But yes, the most that I miss at this is my friends and family. Yes, thank you. Anyone?
Do you have maybe some joke for another country? Like we, for example, in Poland, we have a lot of a joke about Russian people that you drink a lot. So maybe you also have some country, and you have about another country, about your neighbor's board or something like that.
Uh, it's hard to remember, like for 1 second. But of course, of course we have these jokes. But now I don't really remember anything. So, but I remember that maybe it was a long time ago. It was in the 90s or in the beginning of this century. People had a joke about American people, of course, and oh, they are so stupid, so stupid. But of course, it's not true. It's like a stereotype anyway. Like the same. It's maybe most popular stereotype in Russia was before, not now, of course, that Americans are stupid, and they had stereotype like Russian always drink. I don't know. If I remember, I will tell later. But
We got one more question from the chat at the moment. Łukasz was asking, what do you or Russians think about the Kaliningrad region, like Krim? As a Kaliningrad, I think, yeah.
so hard question. As I know, Kaliningrad is a region of Russia which situated around European countries. So it's like Russian is here, and here's Europe, and inside Europe is situated a Russian region, which called Kaliningrad. As I remember, it was part of Germany before, and after Second World War, I think it was forced to be a part of Russia. And honestly, I've never been there, but I saw a lot of pictures of Kaliningrad. It looks really beautiful, but I've never been there, so I can't see anything about this. So, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, it's not a tough question. I wanted to ask, what is your favorite place in Russia, or like which place we should visit apart Moscow, of course?
Of course, it is St. Petersburg. If my friends or relatives of my boyfriend ask me where we should go if we will visit Russia, of course, I would say St. Petersburg because it's amazing cultural place. I lived there. I have been lived there 8 years, so it's great part of my life. So I really missed this city. There are a lot of great places, palaces, and gardens and museums, and also outside you can just walk around and be just crazy about this architecture. I don't know which city I can compare with St. Petersburg. It's maybe a little bit Venice with a lot of channels on the city. Hmm? St. Petersburg. And maybe Stockholm. It's really close. Mm. So it's nice idea to go there. Now, by the way, European people, as I know, don't need to get a visa for St. Petersburg and Kaliningrad for 8 or 7 days. So you just can make how to say, fill application on the website or take it for free. It's so we just need to wait when borders will be open and let's travel. Okay.
And we have one more question, and this one is from Rodrigo. And he was wondering, are there similarities between Swedish society and Russian society? And yeah, what are these similarities, if there are some?
Okay. Society. It's a quite hard question, I think, but society. I know that Swedish people don't like gather it so much, you know. Yeah, so if they are friends from their maybe childhood or from their university, they will know each other and they will invite each other to their for their home or for the parties. But for example, if you have a job and you have a colleagues, they almost never invite each other. It's not about all people, but I heard that it's hard to find new friends around the Swedish people. So if you are a foreigner, for example, if you don't have people from the hey from the your university or childhood here, maybe it's not truth, but maybe. But Russian people, they can find friends really easy. For example, in the beginning you said, they don't smile, they are so grumpy, but when you just speak and find your soulmates, it's really easy to communicate and people get friends. Maybe not. But Swedish people quite friendly anyway, and they can help. But sometimes Russian don't want to help if you are not a friend, for example. But if you are a friend, they will help to you. They can give you money. They can invite to their house, and it's for free. They will not ask to. You have to give me money. But sometimes in Sweden, people count. For example, they share the bill in the restaurant. So for me, for Russian people, it's crazy. For Russian girls, it's how I can date with the people, how I can date with the guy who will not pay for coffee. It's yes, this one is a really great difference between us because in Russia, men always care about women and open the door and open the door of car and help to take out or take off or take on the coat or something like this. But in Sweden, there are a lot of feminists, and sometimes man does not know what is the girl in front of him. Maybe she will be angry or not. This is a big difference. Okay, I will tell you about the food. This, yes, yes. This one is the salad we also eat for the New Year party. It's called, no, I bake this. Um, it's called оливье or зимний salad. It means winter salad. Or this one, it's like springs out. And this one is a cake. This weekend we will have a Russian Easter. So in the Easter we used to eat cakes or something like looks like a cake, but it's a little bit another inside. But I prefer normal cakes with the small grapes inside and what is this? What? Okay, with the orange inside, and you can taste it really good. And this one is really old traditional Russian food. It's called sushki. 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 Yeah. Try.
Let's try it. Okay, yeah. Elena, thanks a lot for your presentation and thanks a lot for the food. So, tack, and hey do to everybody who was watching the live stream so far.